Monday. Hope everybody's continuing to have a good weekend. Time change. We lost an hour. Not a fan. But we're here. We're doing it. Just putting out another little silly rant about how, things seem to be going. We got thrown for a loop in WWE this week with a few things. We had some title changes over the last week, with starting off on Monday with Io Sky defeating Rhea Ripley for the Women's Championship, and then Friday night, LA Knight defeats Shinsuke for the U.S. title, for the men's U.S. title. I was excited for Io because I do believe she is the most talented female in the women's division. But after LA Knight won his title Friday, it kind of took away from that, because that just told me all they were doing was kind of tweaking WrestleMania, and they were playing with it to see what they could, I guess, get things tweaked out between now and WrestleMania, basically. And I don't know what they're doing. I don't really care. But I feel like it took away from Monday. I don't know what they're doing with Rhea. I don't really care. What I do care about, because I say I don't care a lot, what I do care about is good stories. I care for interesting, intriguing stories, which is something that we have been lacking for the last year. Since last year's WrestleMania, we have gotten crap for stories. We have gotten crap for feuds. The only two feuds of 2024 that were of anything were CM Punk and Drew McIntyre, and Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan. And the Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan really kind of died out early, and they drug it on for as long as they could. People eventually started getting burned out by it, and we just didn't care anymore. I thought they handled the McIntyre-Punk match pretty well. I thought that feud was pretty good. They did 3 matches. They still hate each other's guts. Awesome. I thought all 3 of those were okay. It did get... they had some of those matches were dumb. Like the whole turnbuckle thing was stupid. But whatever, I don't care. I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was alright. It was doable. And they handled it well. But that was the only 2 real good feuds that came out of 24 that were worth anything. Everything else sucked. There's been no storylines. There's been no meaningful promos. There's been nothing. I mean, these they haven't been... They spend so much time with ads and everything else. It's taken away, and that's what I don't like, and that's what I wanted to do this video on. Was I don't like the direction WWE's in. I don't like the way it's going. It reminds me a lot of anybody who was alive back then and was watching can probably understand what I'm trying to say. Like, I remember back during the deep NWO days in WCW, when it was the 83-week run, and they were number 1 in ratings, and it just didn't matter. They were so busy hyping up everything that the storylines kind of got watered down, and everything else about wrestling and WCW sucked, because they didn't really... I mean, the luchador division, the cruiserweight, whatever you want to call it, the mid-carders, like, they didn't matter. All that mattered was the top dog, the NWOs, and the alliance of whoever was going against NWO at the time, whether it had been Sting, Goldberg, Luger, whoever, DDP, the bunch. So, I think, with that said, that's where we are, in my opinion, with WWE right now, because they're so busy hyping, there's not any storytelling happening. And we see what I was telling my son this early, my other son. I was telling him this morning, like, it's the difference in that being, like, back then, when the WCW was acting like their pants were too big, they had the big brothers down the street, WWE, who was gunning for them. WWE doesn't have anybody gunning for them. And that kind of sucks because there's no consequences to your actions. Yeah, there's AEW, but AEW is so far long gone from ever catching WWE, unfortunately. Now, the serious wrestling fan, and I say that with quotations, the serious wrestling fan, the same character folks who watch AEW are the same folks that watch they're the same folks who watched The Horsemen, who watched Barry Windham and those guys, those NWA, early WCW guys. Those are the kind of fans who watch AEW, all right? Because that's what you're getting. You're getting that old school mixed in with a little, early day WWE. You're getting that that's what AEW is. It really is. And you see that when you watch it. And I'm okay with that. That's why I enjoy AEW as much as I do. It's different. It's not the same as WWE. It's not going to be the same as WWE. It's not supposed to be. It's more name recognition, if that makes sense. It's more, these guys haven't made it for the most part. Unless you're talking about guys like Dustin Rhodes and those long timers. Edge is there, Christian Gage is there. Like, those guys have all been there and done that. But I mean, the younger guys that are hungry, you just hope that they don't bail and end up in WWE. And you see what happens to anybody who ever leaves WWE or AEW and heads off to WWE. You see where they get, unless your name's Cody Rhodes. You're not going anywhere. They put you in a box and just keep you there. So, I don't know. That's where I'm at with WWE today. They're the corporate crap, and it's all about ads, it's all about money, and it's not about what got them there. Everybody trashes Vince McMahon, and yeah, guess what? Vince wasn't a good dude. He wasn't. But I felt like he ran his company outside of the nonsense. He ran it the way he did for a reason. You didn't see ads in the ring. He didn't sell out to anybody. He kept it fresh. He kept it what it was for a reason. There's reasons to his mayhem. Okay, reason to his madness. And no, he was not a good dude. And I'm not praising Vince McMahon. I'm not doing that. I said, man, did some crappy shit to done, and it's disgusting. And I'm not getting into that. All I'm saying is, in terms of him running the company the way he did, and the rules he had, and the way he did it, I get it. And that's the difference between where we were then versus where we are now. People were trashed the last 5 or so years. This is what kills me. People will trash the last couple of years of Vince McMahon's run in WWE and how he didn't run the company well. Things sucked. Okay. Roman Reigns was your champion for the last 4 years. What was so bad about it? And every time I look up at anything, everything looked like it was fine. Like when I go back and watch video, I mean, yeah, things could have been better. I don't see where it was so bad. What was going on so bad? In fact, it really sucked back when I quit watching it. Way back when Cena took over. But Cena's the beginning of Cena's championship run is when I stopped watching. It was awful. That to me is when it was getting bad because they were transitioning into a new era and I just wasn't ready for that. And that was on me. I ain't on them. If I go back in time, I probably never would have left. I just wasn't ready for that. I was childish and selfish when I left. And I was growing up, getting in my 30s. Stop watching wrestling. You can't be a grown man watching wrestling. What are you doing? Anyway, that's all for today. I'm done with my rant. Just wanted to have something to come on and say, because we're 10 toes down every day of the week. Hey, haven't subscribed yet? Subscribe to the channel. We'll see y'all in the next one. Love you guys. Y'all have a phenomenal rest of your weekend.